don't have to pick up alcohol. You don't have to pick up weed. You don't have to pick up laziness. You don't have to pick up partying. You don't have to pick up running through as many women as possible. Run through as many girls as you can before you get married. Like, that is the dumbest shit I ever heard. I'm not even gonna lie. Because you gotta spend time talking to these girls, texting them, calling them, FaceTiming, spending time, and quality time, all that stuff. If I need somebody to give me companionship and everything, she's there. But she's not there expecting me to use every single waking moment to text her and call her and this and that. That's how my program is. Some guys out here texting girls across the country, talking about, yeah, I can't wait to see you. We came to run up a bag today. Yes, we came to run up a bag today. Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is Karma Speaks, back with another video. Came across this video from Courtney on TikTok. Knew instantly I had to react to it, guys. Let's watch it and see what we think.
I moved away from home at the tender age of 23 because that is what I needed to do for me in that season of my life. And I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but it's around the holidays, I do a lot of reflecting and think about how I ended up in the position that I'm in. And I thought about 30s. And being in your 30s, what I'm starting to notice is it becomes the equalizer. What do I mean by that? As you creep into your 30s and you start to get settled in your mid 30s, it becomes apparent as to who made the right choices in their 20s. If you did not move the pieces on the board accordingly in your 20s, that will soon begin to surface and float up to the top in your 30s. And yes, life is a marathon. I get it. People start over all the time. And those things can be true, right? Depending on your behavior and the choices that you made. But it becomes even more apparent when I get on social media and I look at the people that I went to school with and that I grew up around who are still in my hometown. You can really tell who made good decisions in their lives up until this point. I just want to encourage young people, and especially the people that are in their 30s, now is not the time to be scared and retreat and not make the hard decisions. I moved to a completely different coast at 23 and I didn't know anyone, and it's happened to be one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. So I just want to put that into the forefront of somebody's brain to go for it.
Yo, she's speaking facts. She's speaking 100% facts. And this doesn't have to just be isolated to your 30s when you figure out or you start to notice who made the right decisions and who didn't. And it doesn't have to be as blatant as who's got a bag and who doesn't, right? For me, one indicator or something that I notice is who's got a drinking problem, who's got a weed problem, who's got a partying problem, who's got this and that. And of course, people can turn around at any point in time, right? Like she said, life kind of is a marathon or whatever. But those habits, those things that you created in your 20s and in your, I guess, late teens can completely affect the rest of your life. I've always been a square and very adamant on no drinking, no smoking, basically my entire life, right? There have been times when I've tried it and I just know for myself, look, my success, my greatness is so much more important than a little bit of indulgence in weed and drinking and other types of, drugs, whether it be narcotic, whatever it is. I know that my greatness trumps that over everything. So I just won't do it. And I won't allow people to pressure me into doing it. And there's no type of good time that will convince me to do it. I've been in many situations where I'm just like, I'm really good because my greatness is just so much more important. And so that's one type of mindset that I guess you could look at me and kind of analyze and be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that people actually think like that. Like, that's something that I continue to practice well into my, early 20s. I'm 22 now, but it's like now I'm 22 and I still deny alcohol. I still deny weed. I still deny partying. I still deny clubs. I still deny all those types of things because, again, my greatness is so much more important. Yes, I am available. Let me run up the bag. See, bag talk, bag coming in right now. I'm low-key on vacation. Like, this is kind of a work trip, but I'm low-key on vacation and I'm still running up a bag outside of the state. Come on. Some of y'all would be so prideful to the point where you're just like, no, I'm not going to answer any work texts or work calls. I'm still answering that shit. Stole that shit, man. Stole that. Nah, but, yeah, I mean, all this stuff becomes apparent in your 30s. in your mid to late 20s into whatever it is. Your decisions early on predict your future. Again, I made a video about this 2 videos ago where I was talking about how running up this first 100K is an absolute need and a must for my life, right? Because this 100K isn't for me to spend. I don't save money to spend money. I don't save money just to like, I'm just saving just so I could buy a car. That's not what I do. I mean, I do it for things, but I don't save money with a purpose in mind always, other than the purpose that saving 100K and investing it will make sure that I never go broke again. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. I'm 22 right now. In 10 years, that 100K without any extra contributions or whatever will grow to, let's just say, $250,000. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more, who knows? But let's just say it turns into 250, that 100K. I put that into an investment, VOO, that averages about 10% every year, sometimes more, sometimes less. If I fail for the next 8 years and I just keep messing up and I can't get it right and whatever, and let's just say I have a family now at 30 years old or 32 years old, guess what's going to be waiting there in a brokerage account that I just didn't touch? $250,000. And it's going to continue to grow. Maybe I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to touch it yet. Let me just keep trying to figure it out. I'm going to just let it keep doing what it does. Another 10 years, it's probably going to be $500 to $1 million. 100K can turn into $1 million without you ever touching it, just because you got time on your side. And your 20s are the most crucial part of your life. I would say your late teens, but of course, you're in that transitionary period from high school into adulthood, and that period is really hard because you've been a dependent for so long. Now you got to be completely independent, and you got to start to interact with people outside of people that you see every single day. That was the biggest, I guess, divider between my teen years and my adult years, is that I started a business where I had to meet new people every day, and meeting new people led to more revenue and more money. The more people I met, the more people, or the more amount of money I was able to make. That's the main difference. If you work a 9 to 5 job, yours is different because you just have your coworkers. But for me, it was, I'm at school and I see the same people every single day, same teachers, same students, same everything. Then I worked a job, same people, same students, whatever, every single day. Then I started a business. I'm outreaching to 100 to 200 people every single day. I'm meeting new people. I'm shaking hands. I'm talking to new people every single day, just trying to run it up, just trying to, over and over again. And that's every single day for me. There's like most days I meet new people almost every single day. Almost every single day I meet new people. So it's like new people leads to more revenue, more money. That's the biggest difference. That's the main divider for me, right? But her thing says the great divide starts in your 30s. Here's what no one tells you. What no one tells you is that your 20s is when you have to lock in. Your 20s is when you set the discipline, set the structure. There's just like this, it's this fucked up society where they think your 20s is when you just do all the bad shit, which is true. I'd much rather you do all the bad shit in your 20s, but there's also a choice just not to do any bad shit. Like, what? People are so obsessed with this FOMO, fear of missing out BS, to the point where it's like, yo, like, are you really that self-obsessed to where you can't, hold on, let me just round this bag real quick. Appreciate you waiting for waiting for me to run out the bag real quick. But yeah, it's like there's this super weird like idea that in your 20s or in your early 20s to mid 20s, you just make all the mistakes that you can. Like, it makes sense. Like, yes, make the mistakes now so that you can fix them later. But there's also a choice not to make any of the mistakes. You don't have to pick up alcohol. You don't have to pick up weed. You don't have to pick up laziness. You don't have to pick up partying. You don't have to pick up running through as many women as possible. And these are all things that we all think that we got to do. That's exactly what I thought I had to do, was try to run through as many girls as you can before you get married. Like, that is the dumbest shit I ever heard. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even gonna. That is because women are one expensive. If you're the type to spend money on that, like I never was, but women are expensive. So that's one thing. They need to like take up all your time. And your time is your most important thing in your life. It's the most important thing in your life. And that's why I don't get or why I don't like gel with the whole, date as many girls as you can in your 20s is because that's taking away time from yourself to run up the bag, to get shit done, to build your empire, to build shit that's actually important. Because you got to spend time talking to these girls, texting them, calling them, FaceTiming, spending time, quality time, all that stuff. That is taking you versus having a solid girl that's there to ride or die for you and to support you. It's exactly how I feel about my lady. She gives me space when she knows that I need to work and I need to get shit done so I could build my future, make sure I'm straight. She's there. And then when I need her, she's there. If I need somebody to give me companionship and everything, she's there. But she's not there expecting me to use every single waking moment to text her and call her and this and that. That's how my program is. And that's how you should set your program up. Not texting and catering to 5, 10 different girls. That is the most useless, like, waste of your time. That is literally just burning time right there. You just lit it on fire. You doused it in gasoline and lit it on fire. I promise you. Some guys out here texting girls across the country, talking about, yeah, I can't wait to see you, or we're gonna be together and stuff like that. We all have done some stupid shit like that. Talking to somebody across the country as if you're gonna fucking see them. Dumbest way to fucking waste your time. You just lit that shit on fire. And it's like we do all this stuff in our early 20s. We do all this shit in our mid 20s, late 20s, some people in their 30s. And so your early 20s, it's like prime real estate to set shit up. To set shit up. If you just put your money, put your time in valuable assets or valuable skills, you're able to make the rest of your life a cakewalk. Absolute cakewalk. Imagine if you had a paid for house by the time you're 30 years old. Only thing you got to do is make $20K to pay for your property taxes, your utilities, and food. Imagine that. We'll go 25K. Imagine that. Wouldn't that be a dream? And imagine if you're in a state where property taxes are even lower and cost of living is even lower. You could have a fucking mansion and pay 25K for taxes, maintenance, and your fucking food. Everything else is just green for you to do whatever you want with. Could you imagine that life? I sure can. And that's what I'm working towards. Doesn't have to be a pay for house, but what it does have to be is just a secure lifestyle for the rest of my life. I'm going to live at home as long as I can. I'm going to make as much money as fast as I can. I'm going to invest as much as I possibly can. Like I said in one of my other videos, $9,400 last month, $8,000 this month while taking a trip to LA, while celebrating my lady's birthday, getting tellies for here, getting tellies for there, doing this and that, everything. All of that. All of that. While still investing 8K for my future. It's not for me now. It's for him. That's for 30-year-old me. I don't need anything. I'm 22. I'm supposed to be living broke. I don't need nothing. And I already got my lady. We're locked in 3 years. I already got that. So what else do I need to impress people with? I ain't got to impress nobody with nothing. I just got to impress my pockets. I got to impress my pockets and future me's pockets. 100K on the way. Appreciate anybody that watched this. Peace.